Welcome to the Ithaca College 2020 Commencement Celebration for the School of Music. My name is Julia Plato, and I am a 2020 graduate and a music education major from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. Every year, we begin the Ithaca College commencement ceremony with a fanfare that is composed by a senior from the School of Music. This year, the composer is Lian Yu, and the piece being performed by 8 School of Music students is called the Hindsight Fanfare. Now, let's welcome Lian Yu, along with the School of Music students, as they perform Hindsight Fanfare.
Hello, my name is Lian Yu, the composer of the Hindsight Fanfare and a proud member of the Ithaca College Class of 2020, joining the celebration today from Ardsley, New York. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you now Keith Kaiser, Interim Dean of the School of Music.
Dear 2020 Ithaca College School of Music graduates and loved ones, family and friends, I'm honored and pleased to be here today to celebrate not just the significant accomplishment of these graduates completing the requirements for receiving their related degrees, but even more impressive, to celebrate these graduates completing requirements for very rigorous degrees from highly regarded programs, and most recently in far from ordinary, even unprecedented circumstances. To that, graduates, I say job well done and congratulations. More than 125 years ago, a violin performer and teacher, Grant Egbert, fulfilled a dream when he welcomed a handful of students into his newly opened music conservatory. Since that time, his very small conservatory has expanded and flourished into our comprehensive college, Ithaca College, and into our highly celebrated School of Music that has graduated thousands of tremendously successful alumni just like you. This is a legacy of enormous achievement. For a moment, think about what has transpired due to the initial efforts and dreams of just one person, a person not much different than you. I might even suggest that you envision all that sits on South Hill having grown out of just a few room facility in downtown Ithaca. It's quite remarkable. And why do I ask you to reflect upon the development of Ithaca College? Because yes, I am going to say, work hard and follow your dreams. But I also want to say that you are a living part of the dreams and efforts of those who, including Grant Egbert, came before you. Thus, in retrospect, your greatest legacy will be whatever you do for others so that they may pursue their dreams. So grab a hold tight of whatever it is you believe in and dream. Be bold and act. I often think of awe of all of those who came before me, thousands, maybe tens of thousands, or most likely hundreds of thousands, for whom without them acting on their dreams, and for whom without them, I would not be blessed to do what I do today. For you see, it truly is about dreams and action. More simply, it's about paying it forward for future generations. As a musician and graduate of Ithaca College, you not only have the capacity to fulfill your dreams, but you have the ability to provide experiences that will help others find and pursue theirs. For it is through the beat of a rhythm, and through the song of a melody, and through the beauty of a phrase, that music can impact others in deep and meaningful ways that no other experience can. These experiences deepen human understanding, enrich lives, and allow the participants to better connect with humanity. Thus, use the power of your music to make a difference. In closing, I want to say thank you for all your contributions to Ithaca College, to the School of Music, and to the community of Ithaca. You have left us all better off for our time together. And we look forward to many years working together as we all strive, yes, to make the world a better place. Continue to be caring, continue to be loving, continue to be giving, continue to be accepting, continue to be humble, and continue to be confident. and most definitely, yes, make the world a better place. You leave us having made a deep and positive imprint on the campus, the School of Music, and our community. We consider you family. You will always be an Ithaca College Bomber, and we welcome you as an alumni joining thousands of exemplary graduates from the last 125 years. Next, I'm pleased to introduce the next guest speaker, Gabby Pica, the 2019-2020 senior class president. Gabby is from Carmel, New York, and was an integrated marketing communication major who was involved with numerous campus activities during her 4 years, including food security initiatives, the Student Government Council, Habitat for Humanity, and the senior class. Welcome, Gabby.
Senior year was never supposed to be easy, especially second semester. Many of us entered this year telling ourselves, this is my year to graduate. Feelings of excitement for having a few more months with friends and classmates, but also feelings of anxiety for having to find a job, relocating, and starting a new chapter in our lives. This year was already a major time of uncertainty for many of us. Then, March 17th, or Doomsday, hit. The day we received the email that Ithaca College would be remote for the rest of the semester. Instead of celebrating my Irish heritage that day, I found myself crying in bed with overwhelming feelings of loss and devastation that the final moments of my senior year were gone. The spring semester of senior year is usually a time to bask in your hard work and celebrate all your accomplishments. It is a time filled with lasts and goodbyes with close friends and peers. The more I began to think about what was taken from me, the more my sadness turned into anger. I began to ask myself, why me? Why my year of all years? As I calmed down, I recognized that I believed the universe would never give a challenge to someone who couldn't handle it. And I began to realize the many obstacles that the class of 2020 has already overcome. Many of us started our education in September 2001 with one of the largest tragedies our country has ever seen. We came to campus in the fall of 2016, where both our campus and country were undergoing major controversial administration changes. Since we began our time on campus, we lost a professor, Suji Gage, and my dear friend, Jace Barak. At this time, I would like to take a moment of silence to remember the lives lost, as well as to remember family, friends, and others whose lives were lost since our college careers began. In addition to these major challenges that our class faced, there are also many individual battles and struggles fought. Many call our generation lazy and entitled, but I believe the class of 2020 is resilient and adaptive. We have withstood tragedies, loss, and struggles, and yet we still continue to fight. We are starting our lives at the forefront of change in this world. Our class will continue to have the strong will and grit to shape this world into one that is fair and just for all. We will continue to let adversity drive our passion and fuel our souls. Class of 2020, the future is still uncertain, but we should take comfort and pride in all that we have been through and know that we can continue to be strong through the many challenges we will continue to see. I am proud to be a part of the class of 2020, especially the Ithaca College class of 2020. Although our time at IC was cut short, I am beyond grateful for the time that I did have and hope that you look back at your time at IC with gratitude and joy as well. I can't wait to see you all again in June for our first alumni weekend. I want to thank my family, housemates, friends, boyfriend, executive board, mentors, and professors for the unconditional love and support throughout this journey. Congrats, graduates. We are class of 2020 strong.
Ithaca College Treble Chorale has a piece of music that they traditionally use to send their graduating members out into the world. The music is Blessing by Katie Moran Bart.
Hello all. I am Avery Priest from the School of Music, a proud member of the Ithaca College class of 2020 and a music education major joining the celebration from Wakefield, Massachusetts. Thank you to our very own Ithaca College Treble Choir. What a beautiful performance. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Shirley M. Collado, the 9th president of Ithaca College.
Greetings, class of 2020 and our beloved IC families. It is my great pleasure to share this moment with you. A moment that celebrates not only an incredible milestone in your lives, but the strength, determination, and resilience that the class of 2020 has demonstrated during a truly unbelievable time. I know that your senior year was turned upside down, and I know how much you've lost. But I also know how strong the class of 2020 is, how tenacious you are, and how all that you've gone through this year will serve as a touchstone of courage for the rest of your lives. You know what perseverance looks like. You've lived it. You know how to walk through difficulty with grace and fortitude, and I am truly inspired by you. As part of today's celebration, each member of your class received a box of goodies from the college. In this box is your class of 2020 medallion with a quote from Frederick Douglass, one of the most courageous and bold leaders in our nation's history. I selected the quote in January, well before this global public health crisis, and well before the rise of activism against this sobering and very real legacy of racial injustice in America. Douglass's quote resonates deeply for me today, particularly as I think about this class and the reality that we are in. Douglass reminds us to keep optimism alive, even in the darkest times, to presume and to expect the very best of others, to not only remember our humanity, but to act on it. I look forward to seeing how you will live out these words in the coming years and how your IC experience will help you find your place in this changing world. This year, as part of Ithaca College's 125th commencement, we are proud to honor 3 outstanding people, individuals whom I hope you will get much inspiration from as you build towards your future. Cindy Berger, class of 1983, who is not only our commencement speaker, but one of this year's honorary degree recipients. She's the chairman of RNC PMK, an international public relations and marketing firm. Cindy has demonstrated such courage and drive as she's worked towards her current leadership role after beginning her career with the company as a receptionist shortly after her graduation from Ithaca College. Bill McKibben, an environmental powerhouse who has shaped public opinion and public action on climate change, alternative energy, and the need for more localized economies. Today, we celebrate Bill as an honorary degree recipient and acknowledge his visionary leadership.
Hello, graduates. I wish I could tell you that you are graduating into an easy world where you have no problems. Obviously, you know that's not the case. This is a moment of rare stress for our civilizations. And the crises that we face, the climate crisis, most overarching of them all, will follow you your whole lives. But that also means that you graduate into a moment when you are desperately needed, when your skills, your talents, your commitment, your urgency are required. That's a burden, but it's also a privilege and an honor. And it's an honor for me to get to say to you, congratulations on this great day.
And we recognize Beverly Baker, class of 1954, with this year's Presidential Medal, which honors significant contributions to our college and to Ithaca. Beverly is a pillar of our community and has shown her deep and lasting investment in IC through her tremendous support of our students and the arts. Beverly, Bill, and Cindy have found ways to walk through challenge and thrive. I hope that their lives inspire you as you build your futures. Class of 2020, congratulations on graduating from Ithaca College. Each and every one of you have shown us the very best of IC. And I promise you, we will never forget you.
Hi, Avery Parise again. Thank you, President Collado. I am very honored now to introduce our commencement speaker, Cindy Berger, an alumna from the class of 1983 and a major force in the communications industry. I am thrilled that Cindy is part of our celebration today, and I look forward to her words of support for our class of 2020.
To the class of 2020, this is such a momentous occasion, and I'm honored to be here sharing it with all of you. A special thank you to President Collado, Professor Gajewski, and of course to all of you, the class of 2020. As you know, I'm an Ithaca grad myself, so this is even more exciting for me. For alums, it's kind of a standard thing to talk about how different everything was back when we were in college. And it's true, a lot of things were different. No cell phones, no Google. I finished my final papers on a typewriter, and the IC Bombers were the NCAA Division III champions in football. Your commencement and your entire senior year are not what you expected. That bitter Ithaca winter was supposed to give way to a senior spring. Instead, you were sent home abruptly, no goodbyes, no chance to jump into the Dillingham Fountain or picnic at Buttermilk Falls. Commencement has always been a little scary, a little uncertain, and an incredible rite of passage. Some lucky grads may have a job lined up. I wasn't one of those grads. Believe it or not, my career path started one day the summer after graduation when I was lying in a friend's pool reading Cosmopolitan magazine, and there was an article about celebrity publicists. I said to my friend, I love movies, music, entertainment. I think this is the career for me. And that was it. I took my resume, drove into Manhattan, and dropped it off at 2 different PR firms, Rogers & Cowan and PMK. Today, more than 30 years later, I'm the chairman of both of those firms. Now it's actually one. I merged them last year. I know that today, every element of that story sounds like distant history. Floating in the pool next to a friend, going into the city, walking into an office building that isn't deserted, riding the elevator with strangers, starting a new job, all of it. It's hard, impossible to do these things when you're sheltering in place. And yet, if there's any generation that can maneuver that distance, it's yours. Okay, perhaps Zoom wasn't your app of choice, probably still isn't, but you understand better than anyone how to use social media to connect, how to stay in touch, get in touch, to organize, inform, to combat hate and spread joy. If there's anything I've learned from my career, it's that relationships, real, meaningful relationships, are grounded in a simple principle, a principle that I learned not at my job, but in my high school geometry class. It's probably the only thing that I remember from geometry, that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Yes, I mean that figuratively. Often, the shortest distance, the closest connection comes from being direct and honest, from trusting that others are telling the truth, from avoiding gossip or hearsay, and going straight to the source. Don't get me wrong, social media is great for connecting, but there's a huge difference between connecting with someone and building a connection with them. The problem is it's hard to do that in 280 characters or less. More often than not, to build connection, it takes personal, face-to-face interaction. I'm lucky. When I got into the communications business in my earliest days on the job, I was privileged to meet and talk to so many people. I remember as the receptionist striking up a conversation with tennis legend Billie Jean King. What began as small talk 30 years ago is now a trusted client relationship and a meaningful friendship. The same can be said about my friend Jeff. 30 years ago, Jeff was a young, up-and-coming producer at the Today Show. Long story short, Jeff had a fight with someone at my firm, and as a result, banned all of our clients from appearing on the Today Show. Not an auspicious start to a friendship. As a publicist, I needed my clients on the Today Show, and Jeff and I weren't getting anywhere on the telephone. So I got up from my desk, walked over to his office at 30 Rock, and the two of us hashed it out. Needless to say, I got my clients on the Today Show. And 30 years later, Jeff is still a close friend. He is also, by the way, Jeff Zucker, the president of CNN Worldwide and chairman of Warner Media News and Sports. The takeaway here is that building a connection with someone is not easy. It takes time, energy, and an investment. Yes, texting is easier and faster, but it doesn't replace personal connectivity. I think about another longtime client, Sean Combs. You might know him as Puff or Diddy. What you might not know is that he's also a passionate activist. A few weeks ago, during the first wave of nationwide protests against police brutality, Sean learned about a woman named Miss Opal Lee. Miss Opal is 93. When she was 12, her house in Fort Worth, Texas was burned down by white supremacists. When she turned 89, she walked from her hometown in Fort Worth to Washington, D.C. in an effort to make Juneteenth a national holiday. In the 4 years since that journey, history has finally started to catch up to Miss Opal, and Sean knew he could accelerate that process. So he picked up the phone and called her. He asked about her remarkable story and tireless work. She needed 100,000 signatures on her petition to try to get Juneteenth to be made a national holiday. That was her goal. Sean could have just tweeted about the petition and left it at that, and that would have helped. But in his words, he wasn't looking for just a hashtag. He wanted to hear Miss Opal's story directly from her, so he could pass it along to the next generation. In the days that followed, he got to work, hosting a conversation with Miss Opal on his Instagram, partnering with friends in the industry to share her story, and on June 22nd, he called Miss Opal back to share the news with her that the petition had received not 100,000 signatures, but 1 million signatures. Sean wanted to build a relationship, and I'm willing to bet that relationship will continue to grow and evolve and keep inspiring him and others to create lasting social change. Maybe you don't have as many followers as Puff, but what you do have is the power to use your platform for good. As you go out into the world, whether it's a new city or your old bedroom, use it. Be smart, be thoughtful, make us laugh with your dance moves, inspire us with your words, and then pick up the phone and call. Call that friend who needs a cheerleader, that person whose cause needs elevating, the family who has loved you your entire life, the professors who taught you the last 4 years, that company you'd love to work for. That's how you build a network of friends, and do it with honesty and integrity, because at the end of the day, that's what matters most. And remember, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Congratulations, class of 2020. You did it.
My name is Aisha May Mughal, and on behalf of the Ithaca College class of 2020, I want to thank President Collado and Ms. Berger for taking the time to be with us today. We will hold your words close to us as we navigate this new chapter of our lives and find our purpose as young adults and global citizens. The next part of our program will focus on our amazing Class of 2020 graduates who will be called to the screen one by one. Fellow alumni, please continue to wait until you are instructed by one of our co-hosts to turn on your camera. Guests who are viewing the ceremony, please know that the graduates will be called to the screen in random order, and we encourage you to utilize the live stream ability to clap for and celebrate the Class of 2020 while they are on the screen. And now, here are your Class of 2020 graduates.
Congratulations, class of 2020. It's an honor to be here joining the celebration from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The world needs your passion, creativity, and leadership now more than ever, and we are so excited to welcome you into the world. When I showed up at Ithaca College, I saw a sign on my professor's door. It said, "Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated." And that has been a touchstone for me my entire life, ever since leaving Ithaca College. I encourage you to go where you're celebrated. And when you find yourself unwelcome, don't wait for permission. Demand your seat at the table. We need you out here. We need your leadership, your creativity, your ideas, and passion. And we're so excited to welcome you. And I'll leave you with this. There are two roads, two paths, fear and love. Choose wisely. Congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Oh my goodness, we are so incredibly proud of you and your achievements. My name is Kim Nazarian. I'm a member of New York Voices and a graduate of Ithaca College from 1983 with a BFA in acting. And as I reflect upon my own graduation those number of years ago, it certainly was more traditional and not in the unique way that you have finished your college career, your semester, and your graduation. So we celebrate you and your families. We honor you all. And we are excited that you are heroes, the pioneers. You are holding the new normal in your hands. So with the skills that you've acquired at Ithaca College, with the embrace of Ithaca alum, and knowing that you can always come back to Ithaca, go forth with creativity, meet your potential, use your intelligence, be aware, and fulfill those visions that you have. Dream big. There are surprises and curveballs that will come into your life. You will learn forever. We are forever students, even though you've reached this milestone. The surprises in my life, especially in relation to Ithaca College, New York Voices received an Outstanding Alum Award. Who knew? I am married to an Ithaca alum, the wonderful Jay Ashby. I supported my wonderful stepson, Lucas Ashby, through the anthropology program there. New York Voices came back and we did master classes. Ithaca hosted our vocal jazz camp for 3 years, and now I am part-time faculty back on the Hill. So you never know what's going to come your way. So we wish you all the best. Be happy, be safe, be you. Congratulations.
Hi, this is Peter Eldridge from New York Voices and also a graduate of Ithaca College way back in the 80s, in the dark ages. If it wasn't for my years at Ithaca and meeting then faculty member Dave Riley, who ultimately put New York Voices together way back in those days, I would not have had the career I've had and not have traveled the world the last 30 years. It's been an incredible ride, and I'm really grateful to Ithaca and to my days there. So you never know who you're going to meet at school. You never know where those relationships will take you, and what can happen. So all the best to you. Go out and leave your mark on the world. Do something for the good of the world, because we need it right now. And congratulations.
Hello, class of 2020. My name is Darman Meter. I am a member of New York Voices, and I am a graduate of Ithaca College from 1984. Man, time flies. One of the things that I remember so fondly about my Ithaca days was my expansive experience in the music school. And for those of you who graduated from music, I hope you had as a great experience as I did. One of the things that I encourage you to be wide open about is where your path may take you. When I was a student at Ithaca, I was a classical saxophone major, and I also studied instrumental jazz extensively. Yet I turned out that my career was very dominated by my work as a vocalist in New York Voices, and I never would have guessed that when I was graduating. But the groundwork that I received during my years at Ithaca really helped set me up in the right path to be able to pursue my interest in what eventually became jazz vocals. So I encourage you to just keep all options open as you take what you've learned from these years at Ithaca and wander into your new experiences as you head out into this grand new world. And I wish you all the best of luck, especially during these sort of challenging times. But hopefully things will improve and you'll be able to take big steps with your next endeavors. Best of luck.
Hello, Ithaca College graduates of 2020. Wow, look what you have done today. So happy for you. My name is Lauren Kinnan, and I'm one of the members of New York Voices, which finds its roots from Ithaca College. And I have had so many wonderful experiences coming to your campus over the years, the 28 years that I've been a member of New York Voices. We've done performances in your big performance hall and workshops. And we've even hosted our New York Voices summer camp there. And I was fortunate in the early 90s to have been awarded an honorary degree. So I'm part of the family. And I'm so excited for you in what's next in your future. And I wish you all the very, very best. And congratulations.
And now, as we close out this celebration, it's confetti time, class of 2020. I want you to join me and get your confetti. Thank you for enriching our campus and our town. And I hope to have an opportunity to see you again right here on South Hill. Class of 2020, congratulations.
VIC Radio.